Hey guys, so I wanted to chat briefly with you about semi-freeforming. And I know a lot of us believe that if you want thicker locks or if you want your hair to be stronger at the root, that you should semi-freeform, or we believe that not maintaining your hair that often will strengthen your locks, or over twisting your hair will lead to thinning, which it does if you do it too frequently, so you shouldn't do it as much. But I'm here to tell you that there is definitely a delicate balance between semi-freeforming and thinning your locks out to the point where you're doing more harm than good. I want to show you a picture of a guest that came to the salon who thought, oh, I'm going to semi-freeform so that my locks can get thicker, and what actually happened is her locks got thinner. The reason for this typically is because the texture of hair does not grow with the lock. And so as you go a longer and longer period of time without maintaining or retwisting or even interlocking the roots, the hair at the roots, it doesn't grow with the lock, it grows around the lock. And then the root thins out. And so sometimes when you go to retwist or interlock that portion of hair, it's a lot thinner because it has not encapsulated or caught the hair that's been shedding around it in that foundation or in that part. So I'm here to tell you that you should be very, very cautious with semi-freeforming if you do not have the guidance of a hair care professional, or if you don't understand your texture enough to know whether or not it's going to grow with your lock or around your lock. If this has happened to you, there are solutions for it. But what I will say is that you want to make sure that you're maintaining your hair on a schedule and not just arbitrarily retwisting, interlocking. This is another guest who went many, many months without retwisting, and they opted for styling because styling has been known to help make sure that your locks are okay while you're semi-freeforming. While typically that is true, compression styles do help, what was missing in this particular incident is separating or popping the locks such that they stayed with themselves or stayed with the shaft of the lock. Instead of just putting the rollers in, you should separate them. Make sure your parts are still there, parts are still clean, and when you're rolling your hair on your rollers, you're gathering all that hair together. So that, yes, you're not retwisting, but you are controlling the hair. When you just let it go, let it go, you just let it go, it's not going to grow with that lock, and then you're going to experience thinning. And that's not what you want. We don't want our locks to thin, we want our locks to grow and be strong and healthy. So be careful with semi-freeforming. I'll even share my personal tidbit. I know this, and I've realized, I've seen it so often that people are thinking the opposite, so I wanted to share. But that's also one of the reasons why with my thick locks, before they got to the stage that they're at now, I was faithfully retwisting my locks every month. I think it was maybe 1 or 2 months where I went 6 weeks, but that 6 weeks, it was like, where are my parts 6 weeks? And that was bad. Like I couldn't let it get too out of control because I knew I wanted thicker locks. So what I did was make sure that I retwisted on a schedule, but I never like barely styled my hair. If I did bantu knots or something like kind of loose. I didn't do anything too tight. I didn't do a lot of updos. That is how you can cultivate thicker locks, but still make sure you have maintenance. Hope that makes sense. So anyway, I just want to share a quick tip. If you are semi-freeforming, be careful. Make sure that you have a texture that's going to grow with the locks. and not a texture that grows around the lock. Otherwise, you have to go get your maintenance. It's imperative if you want your locks to be strong. So I hope this was helpful. If you've experienced this, or if you can agree with this, or even if you can test it and you have a different point of view to share, definitely leave your experience in the comments below, because we can definitely learn from each other, and I would love to, find out what's going on with your lock journey. So thanks so much for watching, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye.